So now President Trump over the weekend threatening massive tariffs on Canada. The president posting this: if Canada makes a deal with China, it will immediately be hit with a 100% tariff against all Canadian goods and products coming into the USA. Now, the Canadian Prime Minister Carney now pushing back, saying this on Sunday: we have no intention of doing that with China or any other non-market economy. What we have done with China is to rectify some issues that developed in the last couple of years. So where does this stand? I want to bring in Kevin O'Leary, chairman of O'Leary Ventures, who now is apparently a great actor, too, after his spell in Marty Supreme. Well done, Kevin. I want to congratulate you on that. Now,
Thank you.
Tell us, where is this going? Or is it actually going nowhere, do you think, in the end?
No, actually, it's a very important development, but for reasons most people don't see. But let me explain it by the numbers, because, as you know, I look through all of these issues as an investor. So Trump hasn't talked about Canada for almost 14 weeks. And all of a sudden, in that speech in Davos, the spitball fight between the two of them, all of a sudden became top agenda item for both countries. But here's why it's important. If you actually look at the Canadian index, the stock market in the last 12 months, it has doubled the performance of the U.S. If you look at the Canadian dollar, it's up an additional 5.2%. You've basically made almost 40% going long Canada, because the market believes that these two countries have to unite one way or another economically, not from a sovereign basis. And Trump made that clear, just joining the dots for everybody now, when he said Greenland was a strategic importance in terms of missile defense. Now, everybody knows you've got Alaska. Everybody knows you've got Greenland on the east now, or should have it, sounds like it. But the big hole in the middle, that's Canada. That's the NORAD agreement. And that technology is so old up there, you have to go out of the tent with a firecracker lighter to get a missile going. It's floppy disks. It's 1960s technology. So billions have to be spent if you want a defense dome. Canada's got to be part of it. And frankly, the countries need each other. You know, 70% of what's purchased out of Canada comes out of the United States. So this is the beginning, and I'm very proud to make, I think, this announcement of a negotiation. I know it sounds crazy, but these two have to kiss and make up, because both have something the other desperately needs.
Yeah, you know, President Trump is going to be pushing for Canada to spend more money, because they ain't doing it on their own national defense. I think they bought 4 submarines from the Brits years ago. I don't think any one of the 4 is out of dry dock. It's maintenance all the time. Couple of things here. Let me roll the Treasury Secretary from Sunday. Then I want to change topics here. All right, Scott Besson on this battle back and forth with Canada.
Let Canada become an opening that the Chinese pour their cheap goods into the U.S. We have a USMCA agreement, but based on that, which is going to be renegotiated this summer, and I'm not sure what Prime Minister Carney is doing here, other than trying to virtue signal to his globalist friends at Davos. I don't think he's doing the best job for the Canadian people.
Let's see where that goes. Pretty good line there at the end, a shout about Davos, and you know those parts very well. Tomorrow, the president sells his economy in Iowa. Is he going to be in the town of Clive, which is west of Des Moines? What does he say? How does he get everybody behind him saying, we're going the right direction, it's a new year in 2026?
Well, one of the challenges, because I invest in ag tech, and so when you tariff potash and you don't make enough of it yourself, it's just a tariff on farmers, and so you got to give them back something, and that's what he's doing. This is his constituency for the midterms, no question about it. But I've always felt that you know, potash was made by bats hundreds of thousands of years ago, and they happened to do their poo-poo in Saskatchewan, because that's what potash is, and it's the #1 fertilizer. It's bat poo, but it's all up in Saskatchewan. So why tariff it? I mean, it makes no sense. So a little fine-tuning on the tariffs, or just a moratorium on things you don't make enough of, like softwood lumber. But I think he can fine-tune that before the midterms, if that's what he's doing. And the Bessett comment kind of ties to it. I agree with you. You're 100% right when you say Canada has to spend more money. So I think where we're going with this, ultimately, before Trump has left the administration, is that these two economies are going to be united. I think no tariffs, and then we're going to go to the Chinese and say, we're spending 5% of GDP of this behemoth united economy, and we're looking at you guys, don't mess with us. because it'll be the biggest economy on earth by miles. The Chinese will never catch up. That's where we're going with all of this.
Wow. Wow. I like it. Okay. Don't know when we get there. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Nice to see you, Kevin.
Take care.
All right. Kevin O'Leary, the star of Marty Supreme.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.